already have people here. What am I gonna do? Except play games. Oh wait, not playing games. Wait. Oh, that's right. We're making a character. So, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. Hopefully that we will get more people in here to help us with this. Chat will be able to. I don't know if I'm gonna throw up some polls or how I'm gonna do it. We will get all of this going pretty quickly. If I get a lot of people in here, I will make some straw polls, and that will be how we come up with some of the answers. If there's not a lot of people in here, it's basically going to be chat and my decisions making these characters, or this character. Bashley, Lotus, thank you guys so much. Bashley, I want to thank you so much for helping with the banner and for helping promote this. Hopefully it goes by very well. And without you're ready? I'm ready. Let's get this going. Woo! Look at this. So I use D&D Beyond, and the guy that we're running the game through uses D&D Beyond as well. For heads up, we have 2 clerics and a sorcerer that does healing magic. This party is all equipped with the danger zone taken care of. So what the party's already made the statement, we'd like me to make a tank or like some sort of attacker. I do not have to make that. I want that to be very clear. I do not have to make a attacker in any shape, form, or fashion. So if the group wants to make me, everybody wants to make something else, that is cool. There are a lot of races to choose from. Some of the races are out. I've already been told I'm not allowed to use them. Such as like Warforged. I can't use Warforged. I want to say Triton is one of them. I can't remember. Let's see here. Triton. Nope. I could use a Triton. Basically anything out of the area called Eberron, and out of the Ravnica stuff, I am not allowed to use. Eberron is an odd world that has the Warforged are basically they're robots that have a soul. And then Ravnica is Magic the Gathering. So they're both like worlds that don't exist in the D&D world that he's running. We also know that it is going to take place underground. Like the start of it, you are captured by people. So having dark vision would be a great thing. The races that have dark vision, I don't fucking remember. There's a lot that don't. Every race we can look at. If there's a race you want to look at specifically, just let me know. I will click on it. We can pull it up and look at it closer. So that's where we're gonna start. Is we gotta start with a race. We need to pick what we want to be. But yeah, so basically I'm going to be going through this list here of race, class, abilities. We can even come up with a little bit of a description, aka backstory together. And equipment, I will just pick whatever is best suited, aka whatever it gives me, because I've been told I don't start with my equipment anyways, so no point in doing it. So I wish the filter, I could hit the filter and tell it I don't want to look at certain ones. So Bashley, Lotus, anything you want to look at? Anything that catches your eye? As I said, I'm up to play anything. Changeling, maybe? You always run elves. Gnomes are fun. Genasi, ooh. So Genasi are part human, part elemental. So like um, so the like water genasi are from water and so forth. Fire, earth, or air. So we got choices there. Um, any of these that say sub races, you got like a large choice. So like some of these I can't play because they're like Mark of the Shadow Elf is out of one of the things that I'm not allowed to use. So like here we go. Let's see, Mark of Warding, but I can do Mountain Hill or Grey Dwarf if we use dwarves. Mark of Scribing on Gnome is the only one I'm not allowed to use. Oh yeah. They get into craziness on the half elves. And in the humans, that can only be human or variant human. All of the marks are out of. So, I don't remember where the shifter's from. So you guys think Genasi? If we go Genasi, we got air, earth, fire, and water. Which one of those do we want to go with? Air Genasi, you're a descendant from a Djinn, which is basically a genie. As changeable as the weather, your moods shift from calm to wild and violent with little warning, but these storms rarely last long. Air Genasi typically have light blue skin, hair, and eyes. A faint but constant breeze accompanies them, tousling their hair and stirring the clothing. Some Air Genasi speak with breathy voices, marked by a faint echo. A few display odd patterns in their flesh or grow crystals from their scalps. I get a con increase. I can live up to 120 years. They're medium creatures, 5 to 6 feet tall. Unbending breath. You can hold your breath indefinite while you're not incapacitated. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, crystal hair, please. You can cast the levitate spell once with this trait. Wow. That'd be fun. I think I played a Fire Genasi way back when, like when they first were allowed to be played in the game back in 2nd edition, aka back in like the early 90s. Um, okay. Ooh, Fire Genasi get Dark Vision. And you have resistance to fire damage. Damn. What else did I get with this? Ability score, size. Can hold my breath, which means I can't be. Can't. I don't need to breathe, basically. That's not a bad one. Let's go to Earth. Descended from the cruel and greedy Tao. Skull, lion skin. You get an increase in strength, so you're stronger. You can move across difficult terrain made of earth or stone without expending extra movement. Okay. You can cast the pass without trace spell once with this trait. Requires no components. Pass without a trace isn't. That is not merge with stone. That does not sound like merge with stone to me. And then the last is the water. They look as if they just finished bathing, with beads of moisture collecting on their skin and hair. They smell of fresh rain and clean water. Everybody's from 5 feet to over 6 feet tall. Good God. Resistance to acid. Can breathe air and water. Swimming speed of 30 feet. And shape water. That's not a bad one either. Everybody's thinking, though, we're looking at air genasi, is what everybody said earlier. Crystal hair. Okay, air genasi we go with. Had to take out some wings for dinner. Woo! Okay, so we got air genasi. I get to increase my ability score increase, Dex 1, Unbending Breath, and Mingle with the Wind. I like the fact I can levitate once a day, basically. Because you take a long rest. You can only take a long rest, which is an 8-hour rest, once per, I think it's like 15 hours of game time, like in game time. So like, it's basically once a day. Okay, so we got our class, or our race. Next up is class. Everything's available. An artificer is a person that makes chemicals. Barbarian, they rage and hit things. Bard makes music that is a... sometimes it's a buff, like to help your teammates. Other times it's straight up damage. They're a good backline person. A blood hunter... that's right. A fanatical slayer that embraces dark knowledge to destroy evil. So, you're using, basically you take damage or take your own life to increase your damage and so forth to kill other things. It's a toss-up of like spending your own life points to help you. Clerics are healers that are genasi. Yeah, well, that's the way that I've always seen it pronounced. Let's see, do they have a pronunciation? Woohoo! That's the wonders of having this is you're able to look up. Here we go.
Genasi.
Yeah.
Genasi.
You want to be this in your campaign? Yeah, so I don't know if you can hear it come over because I don't have, this is not the, does it go across the Elgato? Let's see.
Genasi.
Yeah, so you should be good. Bashley, if you want to use this, this is dndbeyond.com. It's a website. It is free to use if you have a Twitch profile, which obviously you do. And then you can like look at your character on your phone or on any tablet or PC. It's saved on it. It'll actually give you at the end, if you see this little logo that my mouse is hovering over, that is actually a character sheet. So you can also print off your character sheet if you don't want to like look at your phone to do it. But it will help you. Basically, it helps you make all your choices. So the fact that I clicked, the fact that I'm going to be a Genasi, it automatically it puts this ability score in for me, so I don't have to worry about like, oh, I got to remember that I need to put my dex increase by 1 because I'm a Genasi. It automatically does it for me. It'll put this in my character and this into my character. So they're already logged in because I locked in the fact that I'm an Air Genasi. If I go back and change it, it'll change all of that. Going back through the list again. So clerics are divine healers. Our party already has 2 of them. What does my party have? Let's see, hold on. Open link in a new campaign. So we've got a Cleric of the Tempest domain, which is Weather. We have a Cleric of the Life domain. And then we have a Sorcerer of the Divine Soul. A Divine Soul Sorcerer is a healer, like they are a magic user that has ability to heal as well via where they got their powers. Druids are earth magic, so they do have a little bit of healing. Fighters are your typical like fighting. There's a lot of different fighting styles that we then get into of choices. Monks, I hate monks. They are the most broken character in my opinion. A lot of people like monks, but early game, you get they can be very, very broken in my opinion. Paladin is a fighter that fights for his god. Rangers are like Strider from Lord of the Rings. They're really good out in the whatever their domain is, whether it's woods, mountains, so forth. Rogues are your typical thieves and assassins. Blah. Sorcerers. So now we're getting into the 3 different types of magic casters, like actual magic users. A sorcerer is born with magical powers. Whether that's through their blood, so like they have something in their background that allows them to cast magic, or through like a divine intervention. So like our one character who is the divine sorcerer, the divine has given them magical powers. A warlock, somebody has made a deal with either the devil or an angel to get magical powers and keep themselves alive. And then a wizard is your concept of, I studied a lot and magic exists, so I learned how to use magic by manipulation. There's actually a rumor for D&D because back in 2nd edition, D&D was built on basically the concept that you're using a post-apocalyptic world, and that wizards aren't necessarily wizards. they are people that have learned to manipulate the nanomites, so like science, to make things happen. So imagine having the like all of the technology that we have where we can like alter lights and cut lights on and off or and stuff like that, and it's all science, but people have lost the concept of how to manipulate that science. So it's an interesting way of looking at that. But that's anyways, that's a wizard. We know what wizards are. They use a spell book, whereas all the others don't use spell books. Lots of talkings. Lots of explaining stuff. And some of you, like most of you, probably don't need the explanation. It's just a matter of like, this is where you get it. And anybody that's interested in D&D and that they don't understand D&D, this is also my good way of teaching you how D&D works, what different things you can look at. Clerics can be... I see that you played a cleric before. It's so helpful for you right now. Clerics, there's different types of clerics. Oh, it's not going to let me show... Yeah. Wait. Yeah, it's not going to let me show the different types of clerics. Clerics can be fun, especially if you pick a character, a class, a clerical class that's not common, so not the life domain. Everybody thinks of clerics as the life domain. You can pick like the trickery domain, where your god is, because this is not a monotheistic god setting. You have multiple gods, so like the trickery god, like Loki, you make more tricks, and like you're about not necessarily healing. You can heal with it, but you can you're a little more as a support character. So to keep yourself alive, one of the things that a trickery domain cleric can do is actually make clones of themselves, where there's 2 to 3 of them out on the battlefield. And you can actually cast all your spells through your clones, even though your character is back in the back. The clones can be up front attacking. It's an interesting... There's and then there's like the death domain cleric, where you're a cleric of the god of death. And those are interesting because when they heal people that are dying, it's it's not just like, oh, I heal you. It's, no, I give you all your HP back because death decided they didn't want you. It's each cleric has its own weird little flair, and it's worth it. Yeah, life domain is, in my opinion, life domain, it's a good cleric to have a life domain cleric, because most life domain clerics that's their whole point, is to keep you alive. But they're the most boring cleric in the game because their whole point is to keep you alive. They don't have another point of like doing the trickery stuff. They don't have any extras other than keeping you alive. Whereas the trickery clerics and all do get the other stuff. You were a holy bounty hunter? Okay. Blood hunters. So a blood hunter, let's see here, where's his hunter's bane? You've survived the unbinding of the hunter's bane, a poisonous chemical concoction that alters your life's blood, forever binding you to the darkness and honing your senses against it. Oh, by the way, Blood Hunter is sort of based on, the guy who created this is a big fan of The Witcher. So a Blood Hunter is a lot like Geralt and them from The Witcher. You have advantage on survival checks to track Fae, fiends, and undead, as well as on intelligence checks to recall information about them. Um, yep. Let's see here. What else does he get? That's the Hunter's Bane. The Crimson Rite. You use blood magic within your weapon at the cost of your own vitality. Choose to learn one rite from primal rites listed below. You cannot change this choice. As a bonus action, you imbue a single weapon with the elemental energy of a known rite until your next short or long rest. You get to do an additional bit of damage from that elemental type. As you gain Blood Hunter levels, it goes up. You suffer damage equal to your character level, and you reduce your maximum hit points by an amount equal to your character level. These lost maximum hit points return once your rite fades and cannot be restored otherwise. When a rite fades, no hit points are regained as part of the restoration. So, basically what you do is you give up your health to do more damage. So some of the rites to choose from are the Rite of the Flame, Rite of the Frozen, and Rite of the Storm. Or you can choose the Rite of the Roar, Rite of the Oracle, or Rite of the Dead. Oh, it is. It's one of those that the one character that they've had play this on. So the guy who created this is Matt Mercer, the DM for Critical Role, which is, you can find them on Twitch or YouTube. It's a bunch of voice actors that do D&D. Oh, I love Matt also. And the one character that they've had play a Blood Hunter actually killed himself. He saved the party, but using his blood rights, he killed himself to make sure that he saved the party, basically. It was an interesting part in the show for season 2, and it happened early on. The Blood Hunter has its ups and downs. I want to say there's a way to do a Blood Hunter without actually using the Blood Hunter, using a fighter. When you pick a martial weapon type, I want to say like a Battle Master or something like that can do it. And that's the other thing, is once my character gets to the level where he has to make a lot of choices, so like if I pick fighter as my character class, when my character hits 3rd level, I'm going to be doing another one of these streams. So that we can all, and it won't be as long as this stream, where we can all pick out what kind of fighter he's going to become or something like that. I want the stream to, like, I want everybody in the stream to be a big part of this. Welcome everybody into the chat. You're more than welcome to say anything you'd like. We're taking, if there's a class that you would like me to talk about, I will gladly talk about it. If there's a class that you would like my character to be, please let me know. We are taking votes from chat to pick our character. Currently, our race has been decided from chat earlier to be an Air Genasi. Do you want me to just talk about Druid, or do you want me to like pick a Druid? Because Druids, basically the Druids are, there's 2 different types of Druids. You just need to know what it is. So there's 2 different types of Druids. Your first type of Druid is the Wild-Shaped Druid. A Wild-Shaped Druid, so every Druid can do Wild Shape, which means you can change yourself into a beast of some sort. So you can turn yourself into a bear or a horse or anything like that. And when you do that, you get all of the hit points of that animal. And so when you're taking damage, your animal form is taking damage, and you take no damage. So when you get out of that form, you still have the hit points that you had when you first took it. So if you took the form at 38 hit points and that creature has 20 hit points, you will take 20 hit points, and then you start taking your own damage. You think bards are cool? I was just always worried I'd have to do songs, etc. at the table, and that wasn't going to happen. So most DMs don't make you pick out don't make you actually sing or do little ditties or anything like that. If you want to do those are great. I absolutely love. I'm a DM. I DM every Thursday. I'm actually streaming that. I absolutely love when my players actually do like a little song, or when they want to do one of the like things where they're vicious mockery or something, and they come up with like a little thing to say to make the and all. The other type, but let's get back to druids. The other type of druid that they have is called the Druid of the Circle. The Circle Druid, well, your Circle Druid is basically more spell casting oriented, so you start gaining more stuff towards spells versus changing your body style. So that's more of a druid, Circle of Druids, so Circle of the Land or something like that. You are doing more spell casting and less attacking, whereas a wild shape druid, you are definitely attacking. For the Moon Druid, I'm trying to remember what the Moon Druid does. Actually, oop. Sources. There we go. I overlooked it. This is the fun part, is I can... I've paid for a lot of these books on D&D Beyond. So, having D&D Beyond, you don't get all of the books for free. You actually have to still buy them. But it gives you a digital copy of the book to use. So, like here, where I'm able to look this up and like instantly go to it and look at everything. That's the wonders of having D&D Beyond. Druidic Circles. There we go. So you were looking at the... So we've got... Here's land. Circle of the Land is made of mystics and mages. Safeguard ancient knowledge. You get an extra cantrip. Natural recovery. You gain magical energy by meditating during a short rest. So this is, again, this is one of those... You gain more spells and you use more spells. Arctic coast, desert, forest, grassland, mountain, swamp, underdark. Circle of the Moon are fierce guardians of the wild. Their gathers under the full moon, share news and trade warnings. Changeable as the moon. Okay, so Circle of the Moon is the type where I was talking about with the wild shape. So you constantly change shapes, and as you get higher up, you'll be able to do elemental wild shapes. So you'll be able to come like a large... Yeah, see here, you can become an air elemental or an earth elemental, so forth. But yeah. I've played bards before. I love playing bards. I'm also the type that I will sort of do songs and whatnot for that. Bards are cool. I don't know if a bard are the best for what I want to do, but I absolutely love playing bards. I think they are the most underappreciated class in D&D. Everybody makes fun of them. But you don't have to be very creative to play a bard. Like I said, most DMs don't, or they do not require you to do any of the role playing. Like, you must do the role playing. You just have to be able to like come up with the concept of like, would he, when he does things, is it always going to be a song, or is he going to occasionally do like a limerick, or here he would do a poem, and it doesn't have to be any more detailed than like he recites the poem and it gives everybody a bonus or something like that. If you actually come up with that poem, your GM typically will help you out with giving you bonus stuff for doing it. And Petty Purple Panda, the name sounds familiar. You recently subscribed to me. I think you're actually one of my one of the players, aren't you? Yep, there we are. You are playing Danan. Aha! I remember stuff. That doesn't happen often. So, we've picked a race of Air Genasi. We are up to class. As I said, the party currently consists of... Whoop, wrong thing. Don't need bookmarks. The party currently consists of Cleric, Divine, Sorcerer, and then me, which has no class. It looks like somebody has created a Tiefling Paladin down here. It's unassigned. I'm guessing that somebody was talking earlier that they were making a backup character. I'm guessing that's their backup character. Go away, Chrome. It doesn't like me hovering at the top up there. Okay, so for damage dealers, if I'm going to do a damage dealer for the party, where I've got to be on the front line, everybody hit me. My recommendations are Barbarian, Fighter, and then Paladin. The only good thing about a Paladin is he does get a little bit of magic, but doing a little bit of magic, he loses some of his abilities on fighting. He's still a good fighter, he's just not the best fighter. Blood Hunter would be a good one, other than the fact that every time I use my Blood Hunter ability, I would hurt myself, which means I die faster, which means my party has to really work to keep me alive. And when I die, that means all the squishies are left alone. And a lot of the characters are currently squishies. Squishy! I do have 3 healers, exactly. See, squishy, squish, squish. You tried to go less squishy? I mean, clerics are less squishy than but they're still squishy. You have no healing spells? What? Oh, you're a Tempest Domain. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Oh, yeah, Barbarians can definitely take a crap ton of damage because that D12 is amazing, and then when you go into a rage, you take half damage. So, yes, this is 5e McGee. we are doing D&D Beyond for our character building. I have played from 2nd edition up, but this is a 5e game that we're making our character for. I am up for playing whatever you guys want. I just need a vote. You know what? Let's make a straw poll. You're from 3.5. I like 3.5. 3.5 was a really good system. It's one of my... I liked it a little bit better than 2nd edition. 2nd edition is what I started with, so it's that, like, loves. But I have absolutely adored 5th edition. Because it has a semblance of 2nd edition and a semblance of 3.5, and it got rid of a lot of the stupid shit from 4. 4th edition was crap. Okay. Yes, it was. It was like it's the bastard stepchild that nobody wants to talk about. Do Genasi have a particular faith? No, they do not. They're not set into being a, like, neutral or an evil or anything like that, and they're not set in with a set god. Your playstyle is typically rogue, assassin, bard. So that is... that was my playstyle for 2nd edition and part of 3rd. I started to branch away from that, and unfortunately for me, my party composition currently is Cleric Tempest, Cleric Life, and Sorcerer Divine. So I got 2 clerics, although one of my clerics has already stated that they are not a healing cleric, they are an attack cleric, which will be awesome. We have a healing cleric, and then the Divine Sorcerer means that they're typically, they have healing abilities with some other non-divine magic. Okay. Let's put those on the list. Should I put Blood Hunter on the list? So the big healer is the Life Domain Cleric. The Life Domain Cleric is definitely a big healer. There we go. We got a straw poll. Put your votes in. You only get 1 vote. Have fun. That way, anybody who's lurking that doesn't want to actually talk, they can put their vote in as well. And I will put the before I'll put it up on screen so everybody can see what the votes turned out at the end of the timing. We're gonna give you guys a little bit of time. Yeah, you're probably a Bard vote knowing it. Ooh. And if it's a split vote, if we get a tie, just in case, we're gonna do. We'll pull the tie out and let other people vote. We'll pull the 2 ties out and make people vote again with just the ties. So there's the straw poll for what class should I be playing? Ashley, I just hit up your. I put it in your Discord to see if that would, if people are willing to even vote randomly. Close to 20 diplomacy at level 1. I wish I could have a character like that in this. He's not letting us roll our stats. Oh, trust me, Petty. This is the whole reason I'm having I'm doing the stream where everybody can vote and whatnot is so I don't have to make that choice. I am fine with playing anything. That's also part of the reason I enjoy DMing, is I then don't have to pick what I'm gonna be playing that day. I get to play everything that the players are not. Always fun. But I do, like, I'm really good at making, if I'm forced to do it, I will sit down and make this character by myself, but I thought that this would be more fun. I'll definitely have a new character that will be unique to me and my chat, which means I have all of you wonderful people to help with it. And as I said, whenever we get new information, we'll throw that up for people as well. I'll probably do like a little, as some people call it, campaign diaries, doing a little stream showing what is going on in my in the game, just me talking about how it went and so forth. I want to do that. I want to do a campaign diary for my stream, for the stream one, where, but the problem is we've only done like 3 episodes, and the 3 episodes are pretty laid back, so not a lot has happened. There's not a lot to really talk about. There's not a lot to talk about what they missed and so forth. So it's another thing doing a campaign diary. What's the best way to word it? If you're doing a campaign diary of something that people aren't watching, they're a little more in tune to like pay attention. Whereas if they could go and watch it, they might just go watch it instead. Although a campaign diary being short and sweet, some people don't want to watch the 3 to 4 hours of D&D sessions. So a campaign diary, they're more willing to sit down and watch the 20-minute, like, hey, we're going to do our campaign diary. Once we're done with our campaign diary, we're going to go into video games. So, I don't know. I needs your votes! Your votes, please! Not asking for money, it's all free! Your votes! Votes! Let your voice be heard. Do not be a sheep. Be part of the mass. Oh wait, that is being a sheep. Never mind! But your voice does make a difference. Whatever you choose does change things and that does make a difference on what I'm gonna play. We're gonna give it a little bit more time. D&D Beyond, you do have to pay for it. Some of it is free, but the good thing about D&D Beyond, so a prime example. Let me, not that one. We'll go to this one. So a lot of the people that play D&D Beyond with me, go to D&D Beyond Creations. Come on. So here you'll see that I've got a bunch of different campaigns going on. So this is an old campaign. Everybody in this campaign bought nothing. I'm the only one that paid for things for it. And because of the way that they've got it set up is one person in the party has to buy stuff. Once that one person has bought things, everybody has access to them. So all of the different sources that I have, so the player's handbook that I've purchased, the Dungeon Master's Guide. I haven't purchased the Monster Manual because I have no point in buying it, but I have purchased other things such as the Tomb of Annihilation and so forth. But if any of these that you have purchased, so I've purchased Bolo's Guide to Monsters and Xanathar's Guide to Everything, they are now free for any of my players to use them. And the reason I bought like Volo and Xanathar is both of those do have things that you can use for your characters, such as the sorcerer, the divine soul sorcerer that we have in our character is right there. Yes, so if you see on the right side of my screen, I do have a for the stream. That's for my game. I have it set up for whenever when we're playing on my game, my players are all using D&D Beyond, and it does give a tracker for everybody that's watching to be able to look at live HP tracking. It also gives you you can click on those characters and get more of their stats. So for a game that's being broadcast, D&D Beyond's awesome. It helps with everybody else seeing everything there. The only thing you actually have to pay for in D&D Beyond is if you want to build more than, I think it's 6 characters without deleting a character, you will have to then pay a subscription fee, and I think it's like $8 a month, something like that, and that gives you unlimited characters. The people that typically want to do that are like your DMs again. So one of the things that I ask my players for my birthday or anything like that, don't buy me or give me a little bit of cash so that I can throw that cash into a new book for D&D Beyond. So like my next book that I need to purchase for D&D Beyond because I don't own it yet, do they have it up here? Is this one here, Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. I don't know if one of my friends has it. Yeah, nobody owns it currently. So, it's currently $30. Once I purchase it, and it's available for everybody. The other thing that you can do is say you don't want all of Mordenkainen's, like I just want the new races. Get the one race from Tome of Foes, $2. Get the magical items from it, $3. So say you don't want all of the monsters and everything else. Here's the new sub races. So you can pick what you want out of it, but if you want the whole book, they have a price. And they do, like, say you purchase this item, they discount some of the other items to make it to where when you purchase all the items, you're still not paying over the $29.99. So let's check our straw poll. Refresh results. Woo! Currently, let's pull this over. Oop. There we go. Currently, we're looking at the Bard is in the lead with 2, 1 barbarian vote, and 1 monk vote. Woohoo! As I said, I'm just going to give it just a little bit more time before I lock that into my thing. And once I lock it in, that doesn't mean that I don't get a chance to change it. I can come back, say everybody, like, I go and check that in a minute or two, and, like, there's a drastic change because we had, like, 100 votes out of nowhere. I can come back and change that at any point. Like, if I want to go back and change my race, I can say I don't want to be an Air Genasi anymore. I want to change my race and, like, pick a new race, and it'll change all my stats accordingly. So I'm going to keep that race currently. A few more minutes. Doop. Maybe not even a minute. Depends on how, like, So we're looking at Bard right now. Let's see here. Pull up the Bard. I get a D8. Man, that's going to be a shitty, like, frontliner, but okay. I get light armor. Simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. I get 3 musical instruments of my choice to know how to play them. I'll be dexterity high and charisma high, and then I get to choose any 3 skills I want. I'll have spellcasting as a thing where, like I said, it's going to be, and it's not necessarily spellcasting as much as what the way that they word it is you're doing magical abilities with your music, and that makes sense to me because you can definitely, even nowadays, there's no magic in the real world, but if you listen to music, you can definitely sort of feel that, like, music can move you in different ways. So yeah. And bardic inspiration is the same thing, where you're inspired through the stirring words or music. Boop. Okay. Here we go, refreshing results. Nothing's changed. Looks like we're going with a Bard. Woo! Bard! Your voice has been heard, and you will be taken care of properly. Here we go. That gets that. I'll leave it in the background. I'll go and check it again later. But here we go with a Bard. Boom, Bard, add class. Okay, so looking at D&D Beyond, so Bashley was interested in D&D Beyond, and some others don't know anything about it. As you can see here, I got this nice little exclamation point, which tells me I have choices here. My hit points, I don't get crap to choose from. It says you are going to be 1d8 or 5, plus your Constitution modifier per Bard level after first level. Your first level, you get your full 8 hit points plus your con mod, which we'll make our con in a second. But our DM has made the statement we are going to always use the median number, which is 5 plus our con. So that'll be the fun part on that one. I do get some spells. I do get my bardic inspirations. So let's pick our proficiencies. I get to choose a tool. I get 2 musical instruments and 3 skills. Where do I get the tool from? Tools, 3 musical instruments of your choice. Oh, that's interesting though, that it gives me a single tool and then 2 musical instruments. Let's just go straight out with bagpipes. Let everyone know I'm coming. Burp! D&D Beyond was like, whoa, really? Somebody chose bagpipes? Shit. And then I think the next thing should be either like a lute or a pan flute or something like that. Something that's more easily found. Or that will be more easily, even drums might be decent. I could be a good Scottish boy and do the drums and pipes. And again, like you can see, every bit of this is changeable once you, even though you've like clicked on it, I can go back and change at any point. Let's pick a tool. Since I know for a fact we're not gonna have, let's see here. Will it give me a choice? Yes. There we go. Because I have a sneaking suspicion we're gonna need that, since we also don't have a thief in our party. I get to choose 3 skills. So your skills are basically how your character is able to do things. So it's much like I've studied how to do something for a little bit. In these skills, you want to pick out something that like typically will help you. So perception is you being able to see things. Are you a little bit better at seeing things or not? Performance is of course playing your instruments and whatnot. Persuasion is talking your way in and out of things. Whereas deception is lying to people. So if I want to be the face of the party, which being a bard, you want to have a higher charisma because your charisma is what your all of your spells and so forth are about. So you want to have that high deception where you're like talking your way or lying your way through things. I'm gonna go with persuasion, and these are just my thoughts. We can change these if need be. But what I like, so perception is so that I can see things. That way I'm not getting jumped on. I'm not going to be what they call flat-footed. 5th edition's done away with flat-footed, but basically you have a higher chance of catching somebody trying to ambush you with a higher perception, or you're able to see like that little nook in the cranny that like you can reach in and open that door, or and so forth, or you can see like, oh, there's a little bit of silver over there. But the reason I picked persuasion is, like I said, I want to be able to sort of talk my way in and out of stuff. So I'm looking at making myself, being a bard, I want to be sort of the face of the group. I'm the prettier one. With bagpipes to blow. Oh, man. So what does everybody say about the last, like, one of these other picks? Is there anything in particular? So Arcana is knowing about magical items and like how magic works and so forth. Animal handling is being able to like get a dog not to bite you when you want it to like, can I pet you or can I feed you? Will you please not like be a dick to me? Acrobatics is being able to like tumble and so forth. Athletics is your strength, so like can you climb things? Can you swim really well? We've already discussed deception. History is knowing about the history of the world. So if somebody says something like who was the general for like the War of 1812, and you can just spout whoever the fuck it was, or who were the two people in that fight. You know, insight is being able to like tell if somebody's lying to you, or being able to see if they're hiding secrets when they're talking to you. Because not necessarily that they're lying. They could definitely be withholding truth, which isn't necessarily lying, because they're just not telling you the full story, and you can tell the fact that they're not telling you everything. Also, insight is being able to like look at a person and know that they're a shady fucking character. We all know how you intimidate people. I definitely intimidate all of the ladies, and they run away from me in scariness. Oh wait, that might not be intimidation. That might be low charisma score. Anyways, investigation is being able to like, when you're reading something, being able to pull the information out of it that you need to, or being able to like fully figure something out. So trying to figure out puzzles and so forth. Investigation will help you with it. Medicine's knowing how to heal people. Nature is knowing about like what plants you can eat to not die while you're out and about. Religion is all about the gods in the world. Sleight of hand is being able to pickpocket people, or being able to like do something without somebody necessarily noticing it that involves your hand. So magicians have a really big sleight of hand, where they're able to like show you one thing and then make it disappear, and then it like reappear. I'm not a magician, so I can't do sleight of hand. Not in real life. Stealth is being able to get around, and that's hard to read because of my little thing down there. We got stealth and survival at the very bottom, and I can't get rid of the my overlay, but stealth and survival. Stealth is being able to sneak around so that nobody hears you and so forth, and survival is being able to just like know which direction is north, how to travel through the world and survive if you are stuck without anything. Is there a particular thing that anybody would like me to take? Petty Purple Panda, I'm sure that you have a choice here. Yep, sleight of hand or deception is what I would say. Because you know what your character is, and I haven't even looked at your character to figure out if... I haven't looked at anybody's character other than what it says that they their race and class is. So I don't know who's good with what. You can definitely give me a what you would recommend. You say sleight of hand or deception. Out of those two, for my choice, I would choose deception. Again, that means I'm a talker, not a... I'm a talker, not a fighter. I'm definitely going to put my second highest score, though, probably in strength, just for the factor that... Or actually in constitution, just for the factor I'm going to probably be a frontline type person. Anybody else have anything to say? Or I will click in that deception and we'll go from there. Deception, gotta be sly. There we go. Deception it is. So I got one more musical instrument to choose from. My choices, only because of like ease of use and ease of finding them, would be something like the pan flute, which means it's an easy like... Pan flute? Yep, that's what I thought. Pan flute, lute, or drum. Should I get rid of the bagpipes and get pan flute and something else? Or should I do bagpipes and pan flute? That's the next question. Because, you know, being all about the woodwinds... I really know how to blow hot air. Pan flute it is with bagpipes. Everything else is picked out right now. We are good. We are level 1. Let's move on to abilities. So this is where you pick how strong, how dexterous. Whoa, I just lost, what just happened there? Are you guys still there? That's weird. My screen where I get to like view you, like I have a way of viewing it that's not coming off of my OBS. My OBS is fine, but the way that I normally watch it to like preview it and all went black, so I was like worried that it went out. Oh well, you guys are still here. We're on, so here we go. Strength is of course like how strong you are, how much you can carry, how hard you can hit. Dexterity is how nimble you are. Can you like jump around things or so forth. Constitution is like how well, this is the hardest one to like. It's basically how well you deal with like poisons and stuff like that. So do you get sick often? If you drink a poison, do you like instantly like die from it, or are you able to fight it off? Intelligence is, and these are the two that I always get mixed up. I want to say intelligence is your street knowledge, like how when you see something going on in the world, like are you intelligent enough to like, oh, I don't need to go down that road, versus wisdom is your book knowledge. I think that's correct. And then charisma is how much people love you and how well you're able to talk. So yeah, you can have a like high charisma and not look pretty, but if you don't look pretty, like if you look like you've been beat with a stick all your life, you definitely have a low charisma score because most people are going to be shied away from you. Now you can still up that charisma score by being able to talk well and being able to have like a really good personality. That's a good charisma still, but you still look hideous. So like negative, positive charisma. So then you balance it out. A 10 is balanced. So the game works with your charismas and so forth. It's rate of 1 through 20. 1 being like you are imbecilic, 20 being almost godly. A 10 is your average human. Average human in the game has 10s across the boards. So your typical commoner is a 10 strength, 10 dexterity, 10 constitution, 10 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 10 charisma. You do have occasionals where the person has a lower charisma or whatever. We are doing what they call standard array, which means I have an 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15 to place in things. I want my 15 to be in my charisma because that's what a bard is. He is charismatic. He knows how to talk his way in and out of things. He also knows how to perform well and let you know that he is there. Next on that list, I'm thinking my con needs to be the 14. That means I can take more damage. You take more damage with a higher constitution. You also are able to withstand other things. What's everybody else's thoughts on that? They agree with that? We're still sitting at good. Yep, sounds good. So, my 13 and 12. I don't know which one to put where. Sure. So dexterity also goes into play for your armor class, and armor class is based on how hard it is to hit you. With my character having medium, like chainmail, basically for his armor that he can use, his dexterity will still be able to be used in that. So the better his dex is, the harder it is for him to be hit, which means he can live longer. But having a higher strength means he hits harder when he uses his sword, which means he'll do more damage with it. And I can't remember if a 13... I think the +1, +2, +3, +1, +2, 2... I think that's a +3. Can't remember. Shadzar, don't forget to add lard or tallow on your equipment list. Helps you get out of those tight situations. Exactly. Yeah, every 2 points you get a +1 bonus. So 10 and 11 are 0. 12 and 13 are plus. These are +1s. These are both +2s. 14 and 15. So I guess it doesn't matter which one goes to which at that. 10? 10 to what? Strength or dexterity? Correct. So the 12 and 13 doesn't matter till you get that +1 ability to your level up. So, but since I'm a bard, I probably am going to put that +1 ability modifier to my charisma to start with, which will get it to a 16, which will turn that from a +2 to a +3. You don't have to. That's sort of the point here, Lotus, is where I'm trying to do this as a sort of as a teaching type experience, because I've had a lot of people. We're playing Bard, Shadzar. Well, let's check. Has that changed? I had put a poll up, and nope, we're still at Bard. Oh yeah, I know that a bard should have a higher dex than strength. That doesn't mean that I'm actually surprised that like everybody's being a little more not as trolly as I was anticipating on making this character. But yeah, Lotus, the reason I'm sort of doing this also is I've had a bunch of people come into my chat while I'm running D&D, and their statement is, I don't understand D&D, whatever. And they don't, like, oh, you won't troll, put an 8 in con. Exactly. No, see, that's... I don't really want it to be trolly, I'm just surprised that people aren't being trolly about it. Because everybody that knows anything about it's actually been very helpful. Oh god! Blood! No! Not blood! Oh man. No, for me it's one of those I've done and you can still do stuff like that without having the 8 in Constitution. You can still have it to where they have that weird fear of blood or whatever. But I've had a lot of people when I'm DMing, they will come in and they are subs or they're major followers of the channel, and they don't understand D&D. So Thursdays they just don't want to watch it because they don't know what's going on, and that's fine. You don't have to come and watch every night. I don't care about it. But coming in and saying, I don't understand, so peace, like, here's your chance of understanding. I will gladly, and I will do more of these streams if that's what you people want. I will gladly help teach people about D&D, show them how it works. I also plan to possibly run a Oh, I know, McGee. You are a huge deal. You've popped into my channel more than once. I love it. Your teacher, the noobs that are your regulars. Yeah, exactly. I am perfectly fine with teaching the regulars in my stream how the game works. I've even taught. I have a party currently. Of the party that I play D&D with, only 2 of them had played 5th edition prior to joining me. The other 3, because it's a 5-person party, the other 3, I had to teach them 5th edition. And 2 of the 3 had played D&D before, but they hadn't played in a few years. So I have one that is completely new. D&D was I was their first DM and so forth. Other groups that I have worked with, I've actually ran a game for a group of 8. Of the 8, only 2 had played D&D priorhand. So I had a lot of people that I was trying to teach how to play and everything else. That will push you on your patience. It also made for a very long game. Yep. Haven't played in a few years, a bit rusty, but I still know things. Nice. In my other game, all 7 of us were brand new. Woohoo! Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. 7 brand new players. That is just woohoo! Might want to add a command to Stream Elements for the basic rules for free for people to download. Ooh! Good! Good thought process there, Shadzar. Amazing. We can easily add that in there, no problem. Created a roleplay that had dice rolls and number gens in order to create your character, so it was taking on D&D while remaining classic. Like D&D Basic. Yep. Three days of headache is how I was going to create it. Ooh. Yeah. Now, when you posted the link, I knew exactly what that link was, because I think I looked at that link back, what is it? 4 years ago? 5 years ago, when it first came up? When they came out with basic rules. They didn't even have a player's handbook out yet. Okay. Intelligence and wisdom. Which one do I want to be a level at 10? Which means it's a +0 versus a -1. So what I'm talking about on the -1 and the +0 is when you make your rolls for anything, less intelligence. When you make your rolls for things, you roll a d20, and you will add modifiers, and your modifiers are based on these stats here. So, like, currently my strength is a +1 modifier, my dexterity has a +2, my con has a +3, my intelligence is a -1, wisdom is a +0, and my charisma is a +2. How do I get... Oh, racial bonus. I was like, how the fuck did I get a +3 con? There we go. You do sing your spells, don't you? Actually, I am one of the few that will actually come out with a little ditties when I have to do stuff. So yes. um, as I was telling Purple Panda earlier, that you don't necessarily have to do that, but yeah, I am one of those that I like doing it occasionally. I've been playing D&D long enough that if I can't come up with some little weird quip, either I'm not paying attention or like I'm having a bad day. So, let's see here. Background. Now comes the fun part. We got way too many things to choose from here. I could be an entertainer, charlatan. I'm gonna leave that list up there for just a second. Bards are obviously charlatans. Underdogs rule. Exactly. What's a far traveler? Almost all the common people and other folk that one might encounter. Oh, you're somebody from the north. So basically, you are. What's a good? I think it's like Wolfgar from the book series. I want to say he might be considered a far traveler. Yeah, you're not necessarily a foreigner. Yeah, think of it as a Highlander. Except when they're talking about the North, they have somewhere lands far away. Exactly. When they're talking about their North, they're talking about you basically live in Antarctica, and nobody knows where the hell you live because nobody ever wants to go out there. Oh my gosh, you're in Waterdeep and came from Karatur. Yeah, exactly. So let's look at the, I could be an inheritor. I'm a rich boy! Yeah, basically. Far Traveler does mean that. The big one that they're pushing, because 5th edition pushes a lot of Sword Coast adventuring, and Sword Coast being anything from the north, and they don't do a lot of stuff from Qatar and all those other places. They don't, like, Chult was one of their first times to, like, leave the Sword Coast in forever. So, I also got to come up with a name for my character. That I haven't quite figured out yet. Let's see here. I get insight for free. Oh, what are the languages I started with? Let's go back to my race and see what languages I have. I think I only get common and name for a bard, William Snakespeare. But I'm not a sneaky snake. If I was playing a UNT, that would make sense. But I'm not playing a sneaky snake. I'm playing an Air Genasi. Oh, man. But he doesn't even use spears. It's just his rapier wit. Oh, man. That's horrid. Yeah, it's horrible. Horrible. Tons of languages to choose from. I don't want to be a far traveler. Let's definitely, let's change this. I can be a courtier. Charlatan. That gives me sleight of hand. Ooh. Oh, that's right. That's where these tool proficiencies and whatnot come in. So that gives me sleight of hand, and I get to choose another skill. I also get false identity. Okay. I'd forgot about the fact that these will give you different things. What does Inheritor get you? You get a skill, survival, instrument, language, and inheritance. So, this, they have retconned this, and I don't know if they've changed it in the retcon. But prior to them retconning it, you can take Inheritor, and basically, if you're playing a fighter, you can inherit the best armor in the game, or plate mail or whatever for free. So it's like a huge amount of money that's just given to you. They have since retconned it to where it's no longer that way. I don't know if this has been fixed with the retcon, where they're like, we gotta fix it. Yeah, the Munchkin background, exactly. Yeah, for instance, the object might be a minor magic item, or that begins with a modest ability, increases in potency with passage of time, or the true nature of your inheritance might not be apparent at first and is revealed only when certain conditions are met. Like, this is one of those where you're just like, you can talk to your DM and get something ridiculous, but you still can, like, just say, I don't want anything magical. I'm just gonna start with, like, it's my family armor or my family sword. I could be a pirate. Arr! No matter where you go, people are afraid of you due to your reputation. I inherited 100 servants that are former militia that will travel with me as henchmen. Balance those encounters now, DM. Yeah, there's a simple solution to that. I have a dragon come down and eat them all before the first game. Now deal with your inheritance, bitch. Free and armor and weapons for the party. Oh, man. I'm glad there was a dragon around. Now, I've come up with a better one. You inherited 100 servants that are former militia. Well, all of them have been locked up in jail due to the fact that your father was caught as a charlatan, and they were part of his assassins or thieves guild, and they're all now indicted for helping him with everything else. Now you don't get their armor. Oh man. Okay, so for my background, choices that I say would make sense for me. I could be a pirate easily. An entertainer, a charlatan, a sailor. Har. Is there anything else anybody would want in there? Any of these others that like really hit you? Because I'm about to make another straw poll. Lotus says pirate. Charlatan, pirate, entertainer. Folk singer, hero. No, that's just folk hero, not folk singer. Okay, we're going with charlatan, entertainer. I hate the folk hero one because it basically means that you should have. Whoa! You should technically have more levels than you do when you start the game. It's also how some people are like, oh, you're first level because you're a folk hero, but I'm like, no, folk hero means like you come from a humble social rank, but you are destined for so much more. Already the people of your home village regard you as your champion, and your destiny calls you to stand against the tyrants and monsters that threaten the common folk everywhere. I don't know, that it always seems to me that you should be higher level than first level for a folk hero. Entertainer. What do we say? Pirate, sailor, entertainer, charlatan. Charlatan, entertainer, pirate, sailor. Sounds like the guy fresh off the turnip cart that saved Timmy down in the well. I mean, that could be one way of looking at it. I think this is also because D&D Beyond does update their stuff as it comes out. I think this is also an updated statement because used to Folk Hero had a little bit more to it. I thought to where it didn't just sound like they were. Because that one does sound more lower level type thing. McGee thinks an entertainer. Lotus says pirate. So let's see what we get. With being an entertainer, you always find a place to perform, usually in an inner tavern. You don't have to basically you don't have to pay for inns and taverns because you receive free lodging and food. I also get a disguise kit, another musical instrument, acrobatics, and performance. Pirate, because those are the two that have really people have actually seriously put out there. I get athletics. I get to choose a skill of any type that I want, so I can get sleight of hand, which we had talked about earlier. I'm proficient with navigator's tools, which means I can find my way through things, and I know how to run a boat. No matter where I go, people are afraid of me due to my reputation. You can get away with minor criminal offenses, such as refusing to pay for food at a tavern or whatnot, because they're scared to death that well, if we tell him, he's gonna kill us. We don't want to tell anybody that the ruthless pirate bard, whatever the fuck his name is, he can blow his own sails with the wind. Exactly. Does a charlatan fit with my deception? Let's see here. Charlatan. Charlatan gets me sleight of hand and another choice. I get a false identity. I get to create a second identity with documentation and everything. So it is one of those, it's everything to assume that persona. Basically, it's one of those that, with that concept, you can actually go into certain areas and they'll know you by your other identity and not your real identity. Or you might be doing the whole game as your other identity and your real identity is what is considered the false one. Because nobody knew that you were actually playing as, a second person. So, charlatan, entertainer, or pirate? We got votes. Votes, votes, votes. Let your voice be heard, everyone. Ooh. There have been some voting on the which class should I play behind the scenes. Monk is actually tied with Bard right now. Holy crap. Because I went back and looked at it, and it's got 2 votes for Monk and 2 for Bard. 1 for Barbarian. We're split 50-50 on my background. Come on. Can I show the entertainer once again? Sure. Gets me acrobatics, performance, disguise kit, and another musical instrument. That was the one that I was thinking about, right? Yeah. Ooh, the votes are split now. Everyone likes you in the town. Free food and lodging. I mean, exactly. Okay, so far it's entertainer with 2, pirate with 1. We're gonna wait just a little bit longer. And we're gonna hit that up. Hit that for refresh button. And whatever comes up is what we're gonna pick. Come on, people, votes! Votes, votes, votes! Your vote does count. It shows it right here. And if it's split 50-50, we will, like... Unfortunately, that'll mean 4 votes, which means I'm the tiebreaker. If there's more than 4 votes, it shouldn't be 50-50, so... Unless we get another even amount. Here we go. We're going to go with an entertainer for the current time being. So, we got an entertainer. We're going to choose drum as our other one. From there, we get acrobatics and performance. Suggested characteristics. Let's see here. Choose 2 personality traits. Wow. So we're looking at the first 8. If people like you, that's a plus to persuasion. Exactly. 4. Nobody stays angry at me or around me for long since I can diffuse any amount of tension. That wouldn't be a bad one. Guys, no! We can't fight, not now! Especially since I'm juggling! Whatever the fuck. Juggling knives. Make me a dexterity check. Fuck! Woo! I know a story relevant to almost every situation. Or, whenever I come to a new place, I collect local rumors and spread gossip. And that's 2 or 1 I find useful as well. Yeah, 1 I definitely like. I don't like 2, only because that means I actually have to, like, roleplay going out and getting rumors and whatnot, and that always is a pain in the ass. Plus, I need a better investigation skill to get that to work properly. Uh-oh, I think we might have a bot on our hands. Let's see. How you doing, Neo Snow? Last time I had somebody come in like that. Yep. Hey, guess what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it real quick for you. Oh, wait, what? Bam! Gone. Fuck off. So I've had... It's always funny that and it's happened more than once on streams like this, where it's me talking a lot, where I'm actually sitting down and looking at it and not actually just playing a game or something, where they're just like, hey, we're making you bull... I'm like, fuck off. And gone. Um, let's see here. I'm a hopeless romantic, always searching for that special someone. I can't. No. I think 4 will be a good one. I love a good insult, even when directed at me. That might be fun. That could also cause tension amongst the party. Because you're willing to insult everybody, and I don't know, like I don't know a lot of the players that I'm gonna be playing with, so I don't know me like making a random insult at someone. I don't know if that would actually hurt somebody's feeling. And it's the whole like you wanna have a good character, but you don't want to be a dick. And some people like it creates tension and then diffuses it. Exactly, McGee. Let's get 4 and 5 in there together. Hey, you're an asshole. Yep, I know. I get bitter if I'm not the center of attention. I'll settle for nothing less than perfection. And I change my mood or mind quickly as I change the key in a song. So let's add that. And I say I'm going to go with number 1. I know a story relevant to almost every situation. Granted, that means I'm going to have to think on my feet playing this bard, but I can do it. Won't be a first! Okay. I need ideals. Beauty. When I perform, I make the world better than it was. Oh, that's a... Dude, that is cheesy amongst all cheesiness. Tradition. The stories, legends, and songs of the past must never be forgotten, for they teach us who we are. Creativity. The world is in need of new ideas and bold action. I'm only in it for the money and fame, bitches! Money and fame! I like seeing the smiles on people's faces when I perform. That's all that matters. See, that's a good one. Art should reflect the soul. It should come from within and reveal who we really are. Oh, fuck that shit. I mean, if you're a decent artist, unless you're like in it for just the money, this should be a give me. So like, this should come with this, no problem. This should also come with this one, to an extent. This definitely comes with this, and then this should come with this one as well. Like, the only one that it shouldn't go with was the greed. So, I play chaotic neutral. Man. I think I'm gonna go with neutral. People, I like seeing the smiles on people's faces when I perform. That's all that matters. Bonds. My instrument is my most treasured possession, and it reminds me of someone I love. Nope. Someone stole my precious instrument, and someday I'll get it back. I want to be famous, whatever it takes. I mean, I'm not greedy, so that one just needs to be thrown out already. I idolize a hero of the old tales and measure my deeds against that person's. That one might be a decent one. I'll do anything to prove myself superior to my hated rival. That I could always get behind. Because that's not necessarily looking for greed or anything or like that. That's just you want to be better than somebody else that you actually know. I'll do anything for other members of my old troop. Ooh. That can get you in trouble if a DM wants to run it. Because they could bring the old troop, somebody from the old troop in, and then wanting you to steal from your party members or something? I'm debating between 4 and 6. What do you guys think? Idolizing a hero of old tales and measuring your deeds against that person's. We can come back to the bond. Do I have a good flaw that I can pick? I'm a sucker for a pretty face. I'll do anything to win fame and renown. A scandal prevents me from ever going home again. That kind of trouble seems to follow me around. I once satirized a noble who still wants my head. It was a mistake that I will likely repeat. I have trouble keeping my true feelings hidden. My sharp tongue lands me in trouble. Despite my best efforts, I am unreliable to my friends. With these, I'm good for 2, 3, or 4. And then here, I'm good with most of these except 3. So 2, 4, 5, 6. What's everybody say? Now this does influence how I'm going to play my character. So if we choose the I'll do anything for my old troop, I don't have to really worry about it unless my DM throws my old troop at me. If he throws my old troop at me, then I have to really start to wrestle those tensions that come with that. Do anything to prove myself superior to my hated rival. Again, I don't really have to worry too much about it, other than the fact that I want to basically go ahead and showboat a little bit, so that when I showboat early, I can be, well, everybody saw me help kill the dragon. What have you done? Again, that goes with idolizing a hero of old tales, as you're trying to do stuff that he's already done, so you'll attempt to kill the dragon, because in the story, he killed a dragon. And then someone stole my precious instrument, and someday I'll get it back. That might be the reason I don't have my bagpipes. Everyone likes you in most of the towns already. Yeah, exactly. So but everyone liking you in most towns is one of those that I could still be prevented from going home due to the scandal, because that's not all towns. And then the one guy wanting me dead, it says, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, exactly. 5 can definitely be performing better. I don't know which one on the bonds. The bonds is the hardest one. I think I want to go with 6 on it, and then for the flaws, I don't want to do the sucker for a pretty face, because I don't want to be the quintessential bard that's like, hey baby, how you do? Although playing the bard that is like, hey baby, I saw you're looking over this way, and I just wanted to let you know that angels do exist, and you're one of them. Although the other players might want to shoot me. Um, oh my gosh. How bad can you make these jokes? That's what I go for. Bad pickup lines. That's the sucker for a pretty face. That's all it's asking for is just have a list of bad pickup lines. They don't even have to make sense. You just have to have a list of bad pickup lines. I'm gonna go with that one. And I'm fine with doing 2, but I'd rather do something like 3 or 4 on this one on the flaws. Any ideas? McGee, Bashley. Number 4. I once satirized a noble who still wants my head. Done. Character details. I am. It's between chaotic neutral or lawful neutral. Make me pretty. I'll always make you pretty, Dan. How you doing? Faith, I'm not picking a god yet. That'll be something I pick. I will pick that like way late. And it's not gonna have any play on my character really. Lifestyle. I see him as living a modest to comfortable lifestyle most of the time because, you know, he is a bard. A modest lifestyle keeps you out of the slums, ensures that you can maintain your equipment. You live in an older part of town, renting a room in a boarding house, inn, or temple. You don't go hungry or thirsty, and your living conditions are clean if simple. Comfortable. Comfortable means you can afford nicer clothing, can easily maintain your equipment. You live in a small cottage in a middle-class neighborhood or in a private room in a fine inn. That actually sounds more like what I would see a bard doing. See him as the second princess. Oh, baby! How are you doing, Dan? Okay, so my personality traits. Nobody stays angry at me for very long, and I know a story that's relevant to almost every situation. I like seeing people smile when I perform, and that's all that matters. I do anything for the other members of my old troupe, and I once satirized a noble who now wants me dead. Physical characteristics. He can still be the lost illegitimate child of the third princess of the 14th kingdom. Ooh, silver eyes? That's even better. I never like making really old characters, only for the factor that, like, the concept of a first level character, yeah, you need to, like, have lived a little bit, but you don't need to be on death's door. The fuck kind of person has crystals for hair. I will show you the fuck kind of person that has crystals for hair. This guy right here, an air genasi. I'm a descendant from the Jinn. I'm as changeable as weather. Your moods shift from calm wild to violent with little warning. These storms rarely last long. They typically have light blue skin, hair, and eyes. A faint but constant breeze accompanies them, tasseling the hair and stirring the clothing. Some air genasi speak with breathy voices, marked by a faint echo. A few display odd patterns in their flesh of grown crystals from their scalps. The Jinn is best known for most people as Genie from like Aladdin and stuff. That would be a Djinn. Make my wish, please. Exactly. Right, early 20s. See, that's my thought. As well as I see most adventurers being level 1, you should be, because think of this also in medieval type time frames, because the game is a fantasy medieval type game. You are a man or a woman that is anticipated to be married and start having kids or having a family at the age of 14. So 20 is actually getting closer to middle age. But granted, these are going with the concept that we also have races that live to be, like the Genasi that I'm playing. I think it said that the average, like, they live up to like 130, 140, something like that. So when you start thinking of it that way, the 20s is more of what they're aiming for instead of like making little kids, or younger kids. But I still look at D&D as the original medieval time frame. So like having a 14 or 15 year old is a common occurrence of them being like, let's go out and see the world. So, here's another fun part. Do I want to play a man? Do I want to play a woman? Or do I want to play a non-binary where you have no race or no gender there? My character's like 200. She already had a family and has grown kids. She only got powers and started on a quest recently, so I think that explains the low level. Yeah, see now that's understandable. What race are you again? Let's see here. I can look that up real quick. You're a Furbolg. How old do they live? $500? Okay. Actually, let's see here. I think are they in Xanathars or Volos? I think they're in Volos. Purple. There we go. This is D&D Beyond. It is a site designed for helping create... Yep, there we go, Lotus. Yep, it helps you with your D&D characters. It'll also help you... there's a lot of things that it'll actually do with you for... Because it's not just starting your characters, it is also... running the character. Like, you can go all the way to 20th level with this program. Okay, where does it say they can live for 500 years? Okay. A Furbolg reaches adulthood around 30. Yeah, see, there's the difference. You don't even reach adulthood till you're 30. And the oldest of them can live for 500. Yep, it's a good character tracker. So I can even go back further and get more backstory. Welcome aboard the train. So D&D, basically what we do is we make characters like this. So I'm spending the time making this character with everybody else. It does have a slight background and all this other stuff that is set up, so it helps you with making your. That's part of the fun part of this is you get backstory and so forth. Once you get your backstory set up, then you've got your class of what kind of, like I'm playing a bard. But you can play anything from a fighter, a paladin, which a paladin is a fighter that has some magic that was granted to him by his god, or a cleric, which is they don't do a lot of fighting. Some of them do fighting, but a cleric is more of like a priest for their god. They have more spells, but they can fight. There's a ton of different classes, tons of different races. Once you've made your character, you're basically going to play a game, and it is the way that a lot of people have an easy way is to talk about. Back when you were younger, you had the books of Choose Your Own Adventure, where it's like you read a little bit about the book, and then you get 2 or 3 choices, and you flip to the page based on what your choice was. Well, instead of having the book pre-wrote out, you and your friends are playing along with the DM, Dungeon Master, who has wrote out the story for you. And sometimes the story goes so far off the track that the DM is gonna improv all of it. But you have to know sort of what your character would do. So, like, if your character. So in my stuff, let's see here, where was it? The personality traits. So part of the thing about, like, I don't want people angry with me or around me, so I'm going to diffuse any tension. So anytime that anybody starts getting angry or upset, my character is intentionally going to step in and try to solve that problem. Even if it's one of those of just, like, getting someone to calm down and not be as angry anymore. But I do have the bond of, like, I would do anything for the members of my old troop. So if I come across my old troop, I might have a problem in my backstory of the fact that, like, I absolutely love these people, would do anything for them, and then the DM is going to cause something else. Explains why his character is being hunted. Exactly. So that's my next thing, is my flaw, is I've satirized a noble who wants my head. And it's one of those, I have somebody that they hate me and they want me to die. And I'm most likely going to do it again because I'm willing to, like, do anything for my troop. And it also, with the fact that I don't want people angry, I might have accidentally made someone angry in that process. There are famous DMs. Most of them do not do public for play. But there are games out there that are public to play. So there are multiple websites that you can go to play, or you can go a lot of places if you have a local gaming store. The local gaming store for Magic the Gathering and stuff like that will also have a D&D night. If they don't have it, most of them will be willing to help you set it up if you want to. For famous DMs that have games, there's Matt Mercer. He does a thing called Critical Role. It's on Twitch and YouTube. Critical Role, it's all a bunch of voice actors. So if you want to see a game where everybody is doing voices, Matt Mercer. I can put his name in chat. Yep. Matt Mercer is a voice actor. He did the voice of McCree from Overwatch and a bunch of other video games. Some of the other voice actors that are with him, Laura Bailey, was on Dragon Ball Z. She's also done voices for Shadows of Mordor, World of Warcraft, stuff like that. Her husband, Travis Willingham's been on Full Metal Alchemist and other shows and other video games. But, like, basically the whole cast is people that have been voice acting in the video games that you absolutely love. So they know how to do the voices, they know how to do the characters. They create their characters just like I'm doing right now, but they are all famous and running their game on Twitch, and so they've got like thousands of people that watch them and love it. But heads up, that is not your typical D&D session. Because they are all voice actors, they do a lot more role playing, where they actually are in character versus what other people call role playing, ROLL, instead of ROLE, where it's a bunch of dice rolling. Because D&D has combat sessions, and sometimes people aren't comfortable enough to want to do the role playing of like being in that character and actually doing the whole like, well, instead of saying I want my character to right, Critical Role does have thousands of people that hate them because of the way that they are. Because it's not necessarily, like I said, it's not your typical D&D session. If you sit and watch my D&D sessions on Thursday nights, that is more of a typical D&D session where you have a couple of people that they will get in character and they will do the voices and everything else. But then you have those people that are like, I just want to I want my character to get this information. And they don't want to do anything, they just want to roll for that information instead of like talking it out and actually performing it. They are a show, not a game, sadly. I wouldn't say that exactly, Shadzar. They are a game, but they are also they are a showy game. They are a different type of game. I've actually been in a game like that before. It's where we weren't doing it on Twitch or anything like that. We were, everybody that was there was more of a role play. I do a lot of role playing. I'll admit it. I'm a DM that is really good at doing the role playing and can do it if I need to. So the whole group was a group like that. So we had a lot more of that, it was sort of showy and so forth. But those groups typically dwindle off because it's harder to get your story. It's hard for a DM to write stories for. Because you don't know how your characters are going, your players are going to react as well. Why do you say that it wouldn't move to YouTube to be recorded? They already post all of their stuff on YouTube. They already, the only reason they don't do more on YouTube is because they have a deal with Twitch. I don't think that they would not move over to YouTube. Right. The 30,000 subs wouldn't spend $15K at $5 a month. Right. But that doesn't mean that they're going to close down, because they do have people that are sending them money. Take their... prime example is they just did their Kickstarter for an animated series of their show, and they made... I forget how much... how many millions of dollars they made for that Kickstarter. So they could easily still do the show on YouTube and just run a Kickstarter or something like that occasionally to help keep the project running, and no one's going to bat an eye at it. Yeah, they broke a record on it. They have the record for the most amount for backing of any video project. That's the keyword there is video project. Their pledge end goal was 11 million $385,000. Like, that's how they ended. They ended with $11 million. Granted, some of that money is going to go to Kickstarter for getting it started, and then they're having to, like, do some other things. So they have to pay taxes and crap like that. But that's still $11 million that people just gave them to make an animated series. What's to keep people from spending the money for them to... So, and again, I understand where some people don't like Critical Role, but Critical Role is definitely somewhere where you can, like, if you want to learn about D&D, it's one of the most easy ways to get somebody to learn about it. The other thing that I would recommend is the gentleman by the name of Matt Colville. He's the other Matt. Matt Colville does a YouTube. He started off as a YouTube person. He has another job where he works in video game industry as a writer. He also self-publishes books and everything else. His YouTube channel is teaching DMs how to be better DMs and teaching players how to be better players. The other thing, the great GM on YouTube. The other thing about Matt Colville, though, is Matt Colville is definitely a different type of playstyle. I like Matt. I've met Matt Colville numerous times. I haven't seen the Great GM yet. I've heard him. I haven't got a chance to sit down and watch him. Since I do my own Twitch thing and I also do a bunch of other stuff. I don't have the amount of time to dedicate to, like, search for all of the different channels. So later, Dan. I think I'm at the point where I've got to do background story, magical item, or regular items. I'm just going to start with starting equipment. Choose equipment or gold. I mean, it's not like I'm getting to keep any of it, because they've already told us that we're starting our story in a, in a jail. Like, we're already... So, with that in mind, I know I'm not going to start with any of this, so I might as well pick what I would prefer to have and hope that it's somewhere. Oh yeah, exactly. I could start with some really crazy bullshit and be like, hey, my character knows how to use it, and I have it, so if you give it to me, like, I'll use it. I'm gonna use a rapier because I can use dex with it. Ooh, I hate both of these. Diplomat's pack or an entertainer's. I think I'll take an entertainer's only because I want the bedroll and the 5 days of rations, whereas the Diplomat's pack doesn't have any rations in it whatsoever. You are, ugh. 5 pounds of raisins, 2 barrels of pickled herring, exactly. Oh, it won't let me pick a trinket. That's a glitch. Oh well. I can't, like, That's not the choice there. Like, I can't pick a trinket because it's locked. See? It's basically there's a glitch in the system. Because I can take both the musical instrument or a trinket and a trinket. It's the this is a glitch, which will be a simple like all I have to do is message DnD Beyond and let them know. I plan to. I'm gonna message them as soon as I'm done with the stream. Because I've been streaming for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Holy crap! I've been making this character for 2 hours and 30 minutes? Jesus! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list it as a love letter, and then I'm just going to make it something else. Because you can go and alter that. Sounds normal for 5e characters. Actually, I could have hammered this out in pretty quickly if I wanted to. Edit possessions. So, let's see here. Back up. There we go. Trinkets. Do we want to roll for our trinket, or do we want to pick one out of the 100? Yeah, you're right, Shadzar. This is definitely, like, the 2 hours is definitely for somebody who's never played before. I've been playing 5e for whatever, like, however long it's been out now. As I said, I DM every Thursday. This is just me, like, I actually haven't played a game, not as a DM, in over a year. So this is going to be my first character that I'm actually playing for the first time in over a year, but that doesn't mean that I don't help all of my players make their characters on a regular basis, and I know how to do it really fast, because I do make my own NPCs, and I do make NPCs that travel with the players, so they do have their levels and so forth, so it is me making a leveled character. A petrified mouse, that would be... Oh, man. That right there would be awesome. Although I could see my character going slightly insane over the fact that they have... Did you not see my little... The little spider, it moved. No, it didn't. I'm like, I swear to God that mechanical thing moves. A glass jar containing lard with a label that reads Griffin Grease. Oh my God. I'd never looked at 98. Like, this is always the fun part when you're going through this and you don't remember some of these, because there's a lot of them that are just so, like, crazy. Tight situations, exactly. An ornate brooch of dwarven design, a needle that never bends, ancient arrow of elven design, a vial of dragon blood, a book that tells the story of a legendary hero's rise and fall, with the last chapter. Ooh! Ooh! That would be a good one. Receipt of deposit of a bank in a far-flung... That would also be a good one there, but my character's not gold hungry, so it doesn't matter. There and back again, a Hobbit's Holiday. The last chapter is for you, Sam. Have a floor plan for a temple, castle, or some other. No, purple handkerchief embroidered with the name of a powerful archmage. Bronze pinnacle with an etching of a rat's head. That wouldn't be a bad one either. An ornate scabbard that fits no blade you have found so far. Ooh! A set of bone pipes. They're out of tune always, no matter what. Shell of an egg painted with a scene. No. Ooh, now that would be an interesting one to put with my character. A silver teardrop earring made from a real teardrop. That'd be an interesting one. See, this one doesn't make sense for my character because he can read music and whatnot. So that would be he at least knows part of a song then. Oh, but he might be looking for the rest of that song. Oh, man. Do I have a D100 with me? No, I do have a D20, but I don't have a D100 here. I know it's 2D10. What I was saying was, like, did I have them, like, right here in me, like, possession without me having to get up? Because in my possession, I've got my guitar pick and, like, a D20. I don't know why I have a single D20. It's not even a nice, pretty D20. It's a piece of shit. Roll it twice. But then the max you can get is 40. Unless you're going for the percentile that it is, which is 1 is 1 through 5. Do-do-do. Oh, the really old ones. Jesus. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. First roll. Well, help to stay somewhere where I can read you later. That's 20, so that's a 10. So 13, so that's a 3. So I'm looking at tooth from an unknown beast. See, I don't even like that. $83. Let's see what that has. A bit of folded cloth that when unfolded turns into a stylish cap. That I could see my character having. Oh, well, we'll go with the first roll just for the shits and giggles of it. What's next? Okay, so we are at the point of I just basically need to create a character name. And we will be done. Yeah, once you said that, that made a little bit more sense. So we'll figure it out later. Because it's getting to that point where I'm going to go make myself a little bit to eat. Yep, exactly. I've got to come up with why it's important to me. I also need to come up with a character name, but everything else is built. So currently we have a Air Genasi Bard. Low intelligence, high charisma, decent con, dexterity, strength, and wisdom. We've got our description. We've got our our background. So I got to come up with a little bit more backstory for my character, which is the why is the trinket so important to me? Why am I no longer with my group that I was originally with? What noble did I piss off, and why? I've got a little bit of stuff that I can do, and I don't have to do that on stream. And I know that you guys would enjoy seeing it on stream, but at the same time, I need to get other things done. So thank you guys so much for coming with me on this lovely adventure of creating my first character in over a year. I will post the character sheet on my Discord and so forth, so that people can see it. I'll also post it on my Twitter. So if you do not have it, go ahead and hit up my Twitter, which is the same handle as here on Twitch. I also post all of the videos on my YouTube, so my YouTube will have this video on it as well, and anything else that comes up with this character. Thank you guys so much. Shadzar, thank you for coming in. You have been wonderful in the thing. You have not been trolly as some people I was anticipating. Dan, thank you so much. Lotus, as always, thank you for coming and dealing with my craziness. McGee, you are a wonderful man. Thank you so much for everything. And Bashley, again, thank you for making that banner earlier this week. You did not have to do that, and thank you for being with me. Anyways, thank you all. I'm Shinigami Tabris. I hope you all have a wonderful day or a wonderful night wherever you are. Until next time, everyone, peace!